Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I'm going to be showing you a primitive flag and pennant indicator signals that get generated from the data that I send, which is pretty well all cryptocurrency pairs from Binance, the exchange. Okay, first thing we need to understand is what is a pattern, or more specifically the flags and pennants that I'm referring to. I want to make sure everybody understands what a candlestick is. Each one, I'm sure this is pretty basic stuff. Open price to close, and then these wicks are the high price and low price. These are pretty well in the open, high, low, close data that you download from whatever exchange. Doesn't matter. It's pretty standard across all exchanges. And then we get into what is a pennant, what is a flag. Okay, so there's different definitions of it, and it can get kind of confusing. So for me, when you look at these kind of pennants, usually you'll see roughly 15 to 25 candles in this formation in the data. Now I'm dealing with hourly data, and this right here means basically that the opens are going up and the closes are going up as well. But there's different formations for different reasons. So here, I'm not going to worry about this at all. This is considered the this rise is the flagpole phase, as they call it. And then we get our price goes into a pricing action, and then that's where the basically the flag or really the flag becomes a and it goes into this phase. And again, right now, roughly can be 15 to 25 candlesticks, but that could be any amount. And again, I might not be correct here, but I'm just going to tell you how I define it. So you can have 15 to 25 candles or bars, kind of the same, I would think. And there's different times you can set your entries. I'm going to tell you something. I don't really care about this stop loss level or the price target at this point, because as I said, this is just one of probably 10 different patterns, among all the different combos that I have. So I'll be using those in combination to set pricing outside of this. So all I really care about, and this is important to understand when you see my report, all I really care about is the signal of the flag or pennant, and that's all I really care about. That it's happening, and it's happening at a certain time. But anyways, what we can have is we can have pennants, and then typically what will happen is this flag phase, that height will define the next expected price move back down. So in this case, we have a first flag position, goes into a pennant mode, and then the same distance here is when you set your price target, and your stop loss is the lower part of the pennant. Same with the shorting side, or if it goes into a declining mode, just everything's in reverse. Goes from flag portion, goes into a flag mode, or into the flag or pennant mode, and then that same distance is when you can expect your next price target as your exit. Okay, so knowing that, that sort of helps. And we have here triangles. So we've talked about somewhat flags and patterns. Flags and triangles is very confusing, can be treated the same. So let me just see if I can find the baby pips one. Let me see here. That's okay. So let's do a baby pips. This one's pretty good actually. Flag and pennant. So Not sure if this is the right one we want. This is another definition of it. So we have a resistance line and support line. So if we go into a downtrend, what can happen is the pricing action can go into this consolidation mode. So again, what's happening is your opens in the open high-low close are dropping while the closes are increasing, because these are how they're defined in the candles. So there's a tightening or consolidating mode in this pattern. This is very common in pricing action when you go into this random walk. But usually what can happen is you have a downtrend, goes into this flag or pennant mode, and then you can expect that next trend to drop down. And what can happen is you can get another downtrend. And I'm going to leave the links in my description or also in the blog post as well, so you can make reference to this. So here we can get our bullish ones as well. If we have an uptrend and it goes into our pennant as well. So that's all cool. And then I want to add on a little more confusion here. So if we look for a bullish flag versus a bullish pennant, it can get very confusing very quickly, because here we have now bullish flags, and that's where it includes that flagpole mode, as I told you. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show you my report here. So what we have here is, let me see how many pairs we've got. I made a fix to the downloading of the Pennants, so we should have a lot more. And let me just go to the download part, and then just do a, so if I do a Pennants with the word count, so we have 326 pairs. Okay, so if I was to show you that, here they are. So these are all the different combination pairs. As I said, they're from Binance with the currency, cryptocurrency pair, along with the hourly rate. Okay, so let me show you the reports. Okay, so I've done two tests. The first one is the last 1,000 hours. So I'm just downloading the last 1,000 hours, okay? And this is the report. So typically, I wanted to show you the increasing pennant, declining pennant, and it can get kind of wonky here. So we have flags and pennants, and they could be declining or bearish or bullish. And we put the time and the date in there. Now, you may be getting, well, why don't you just chart it? To chart these is very, not difficult, it's just too time consuming to debug it and whatnot. So I just said, screw it. There's a lot of systems out there that don't even have an interface. So I just wanted to put these reports out as a signal. So the important part is the dates in this case. We have here bullish flags in around April 10th. Okay. And then always in April, there's something happening on that day. It's always bullish, as you can see here. So that was a good day to be in the markets. Yeah, I find that quite odd. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but I hope not. Anyway, so let me show you how I generate these. So if I go back to one of our charts, yeah, this one would be good. So what I've done is I've got a script. What it will do is it will, as I said, it will go through each Binance cryptocurrency file. And in this report here, you can see it's the last 1,000 hours. So I want to make sure I can capture as much as possible. And when you go through these examples, if you count them up, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's always seems to be roughly about 15 to 20. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to figure if you've got anywhere from 15 to 20 hours of a formation for either a flag or a pennant, that may be good enough. I can't say, but it should be enough to generate a signal on. So what we're doing is we are over those 15 hours or 20. In my case, I'm using 20 hours and 20 hours only, just the average. And there was some other platform I saw, that's what they use to measure these as a look back. So what we do is we look at the most recent candle, and then we look back, in my case 20 candles or bars, and it goes through each one, and it wants to make sure that the opens are basically in decline. So what we're doing is the opens are dropping and the closes are going up. So that's going to give you a formation, a consolidation of formation. So that's a pennant. And then we can do the opposite where we have, so this would be, I consider a declining pennant, which would be, I believe, bearish, but that's why I'm making this video, to get clarification on what you guys think, but let me know. I'm always open to criticism to make sure I'm getting it right. And then the other one, the opposite of this, would be an upward move. And again, it just depends on the previous data. And if it's moving up in an uptrend, then it goes in this consolidation form. What can happen? So this is what I'm after, is just to get some better knowledge and better different interpretation. So if that's the case, then it goes into an up pennant, or inclining or increasing pennant. I can't remember what I call it. So we're using the resistance, the opens, and the support would be the closes. So we expect, as I said, the opens to drop in the bar and the candles, and the closes to go up to form this consolidation formation. Now it may not meet here, but that is how we loosely call a pennant. Now I'm going to make sure we understand that. Loosely call a pennant, but it's close enough where there's that trend, where there's definitely some form of consolidation happening. That's the key, I think. Now these pennants don't occur as frequent as you can imagine. So here in BNB BTC, we only have over really one day where we're able to generate these patterns. So the other thing, actually these are flags minus the flag pole. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the pennants, because all this latest security crap is just, for Apple, is just trash. Worse, probably as bad as Microsoft. Anyways, so I've got some pennants here, bullish, bearish, depending upon the move. So you have an up move, pennant, and then the up move continues. The bearish, similar, but just down moves. But here's the bull flag and the bear flag, which is clearly not correct. And any website I go to just defines it differently, which can be wrong, but I'll show you my definition of it. So I come in here, do a bullish flag under the images. This is what I'm looking for. This would be considered a flag, but you can see it's on a decline. And then we have the bullish flag and the bearish flag. So if we have our opens and our closes moving and dropping in parallel from the bars or the candles, that's a bullish from move up. And then the bearish, same but the reverse, but it's moving up. So when I look at the report, I'm just going to generate. So again, let me just remind you, because I babbled on this video too long. Let me just go back into my place where I need to be. Just all this Apple, Mac OS crap just delays you. Let me just get to it. I will get there. Okay, here we go. Here we are. Okay, so the report I'm referring to is this one. So again, I showed you this one for the 1,000 periods. Okay, so I just want to show you that there is declining pennants and there's some bullish, so on and so forth. Now again, this could also mean it's a bug or nothing correct, but I'll show you what I've generated for the last. Now what I'm doing is the data is hourly still for cryptocurrency from Binance, the exchange, but in this case it's only for, because remember, cryptocurrency does not close. So what I've done is the last 24 hours times 7, so the last week's worth every day for 24 hours times 7. So let me just show you that report. So when you look at the different dates here, we have here all the different periods of bear flag, as well as a declining pennant and a bear flag, which is really meaning it's bearish throughout the cryptocurrency world. So that's what I want to show you, is just the different flags and pennants. Hopefully I've got them right. I just want to show you the mechanics of it at least. But let me know what you think. Sorry to butcher you through however long this video is, but hopefully you kind of get what I'm saying. If there's corrections to be made, let me know via the comments, and I'll talk to you soon. Later. Howdy doody. Okay, so I made a correction. These are the bullish and bearish pennants that I want. The only difference is up move or an uptrend goes into consolidation and the trend continues. That's what's expected when you hit these bullish pennants. Bearish pennants is the opposite. If it's in a downtrend, it consolidates, goes down again. That's what's expected. So that's for the bullish. Now, in terms of the bearish flag, I found what I was looking for. But again, these flag patterns are always defined differently on different sites. But generally what I'm trying to do is you have an initial decline or downtrend, goes up into a short-term trend. So again, on the opens and the lows go up in parallel, and then the expected bearish pattern should continue. The other one is the opposite of the bullish flag pattern. Again, we're not really tracking this, we're just using this for signaling only on the flagpole. So we have an uptrend, goes into the flag with a bullish down short term, and then back up. So what I've done in the code, I've updated that as what I'll show here. Now again, this is another version running 1,000 hours worth, and the report will be a little different, but a little more sensible. So here, for all these different pairs, the bearish pennant at this time. So because of that, we expect the price to go down, and same with the bear flag. So if the previous trend is falling, then we should continue to see that fall. So that's all it really does. Some strange things going on with the data. With all of these flag or patterns happen the same day, and I don't know why that is, but they're different patterns: bearish pennant, give a bearish pennant, bear flag, or a bull flag, different times, but different time period or different day. Now that's for 1,000 period or 1,000 hours. Now if I run it for 24 hours times 7 days, and there is no pattern generated, it will not print out a report. So just remember that, all right? So it is improved, but this is bizarre. I don't know if this is at the exchange level with some kind of bug, or if the code or the script itself has a bug. Might be very interested to know. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later.